Hi, I'm Solaris. Welcome to Outrageous. We are here in the Los Angeles Theater Center with Sarah, who is non-binary.
Hello.
Hi. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Well, first of all, I am identify as non-binary, and for me, that means that I don't present myself within what most people consider as the gender spectrum, and it's fluid a lot of times. So I embrace my femininity, but I do present myself majority of the time masculine. And I came to be non-binary through a process of life, and also through the fact that I'm a solo performer in the theater and I'm a playwright. I was able to write about identity through plays, specifically a solo play that I worked on for 10 years called Set.
Mujeres, trans, gentlekqueers, and gentlemen, welcome to El Partido!
I didn't name myself before the shows that actually the show named me. I really discovered my gender fluidity at the time when I was first really exploring the character, going from character to character, since I performed over 25 characters in the play.
Hola Karen, ¿cómo se vive en los Estados Unidos?
She made me feel famous. Bueno, clase, today we're going to learn about verbs. English class? Talk to me by an Argentine to the girl from the USA? Are you kidding me?
And so it was exciting to discover that within my body, because sometimes when you're doing your career as an actor, even as a playwright or a writer, and you're living the everyday life trying to survive and pay the bills and everything like that, sometimes it's hard to spend as much time on identity and the things that matter a lot sometimes.
Here I am, what I'm supposed to be. It's who I am, all the soul that I see. Here I am, what I'm meant to be.
I was really engaged in the solo performance because I felt that was a way that was really connecting me to audiences where I felt there was a disconnection, mainly with race and like cultural identity. Within Latinx community, mainly Latina community at the time. When I first started writing it, it was around 2005. I knew I was queer by that time, so I was definitely like exploring my queerness within a very machista, very patriarchal household, right? And so growing up into that, it was really restricted, so I didn't have so much time. So through the theater and through my own work, I was able to feel the movements and the spirit of each voice, you know, and being able to embody that. It felt like I was exploring gender in some ways.
I'm not signing this shit. You must be out of your mind. Kill me. I will not stay with you.
About 2012, I shaved my hair off. I was getting my hair done and I was straightening it because I was doing the shaved hair. I wanted to like go for it, but it's so hard sometimes to let go of hair, and that's what I found, right? It's like letting go of like, even if it's just this part that was like coming down, it was covering like the shaved sides, but it's like this cool look. I was like, yeah, but I always wanted to just like really explore my masculinity, you know? And so it was an accident. She was trying to straighten my hair. It was a hairdresser, and I went to her house and she put the chemical on my hair, and then she was excited about one of this other character I was writing, and so she was like, let me see your video, which meant that we talked, and then 40 minutes passed by, and it was only supposed to be 20 minutes. The best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yes.
Because it was like, why am I so scared to really explore my gender when it's just hair? Like, it grows, right? It's not like an arm. And I did had to come to terms with like, you know, when I was presenting more feminine and being able to wear feminine clothing, even though I was sometimes masculine within my gender expression, I knew what power I had with femininity in some ways, to be able to move through the world and be able to access things that I needed, like jobs. Once I got my hair, it was much harder to get jobs that other actors were getting, even though it's like, oh, we're open, we're in Los Angeles. No, people are very closed-minded. They want to see the woman be a woman and the man be a man, whatever that means to them, which means you look like a woman, you wear a dress, you have long hair, and you wear makeup, and you look presentable in a room for men. And you still talk about your relationship to men as a very important part of your conversation.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the roles you've had in television?
The first real big role that I felt was like, yes, was Daisy Cantu on East Los High for Hulu.
She stood up, pointed to me, and said, "Daisy Dyke." And everyone laughed.
That's terrible.
It was embarrassing. I lost my friends, my best friend, and the name calling followed after that.
Evelina Fernandez was actually my co-producer on set of the show that was here at the Los Angeles Theater Center. And she's part of Latino Theater Company, and she was like, you know what? She was one of the writers and wrote that episode. And so it was a lot of great collaboration to work with the creators, the writers, the producers, because they wanted to be respectful to my identity, and they also wanted to see like what I was about, because I'm pretty much like one of the, if not the first Latinx actor on the Hulu, and to like play a role or be a character in a as a guest star, that's huge. So that was a great first television experience, really. And then after that, I also worked on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and that was fun.
Aloha. Would you like some poke?
Are you kidding? I would love some poke. Anything new today?
We got Murder Rampage 3, a quest for chaos. The DPS is out of control.
Really?
They were open to non-binary, it could be butch lesbian, right? So it's blurs. It's like, oh, you could be butch lesbian, you could be non-binary, transgender, but they're very supportive, and they were just such a dream to work with. And it's cool to also have a role where it doesn't necessarily mean it's my identity.
Yeah.
So that was cool also. And then also the Fosters was cool because I walked into the audition, and there's guys, big security guard, it's a guard, and the guys are muscular, and I'm like, all right, and I got the role.
Are you injured or intoxicated?
No.
Okay. This is a Prison Rape Elimination Act questionnaire. Sit down.
I've filled this out before.
Fill it out again.
That to me was huge because usually security guards are male. It's usually gendered it has to be a muscular guy. So, and then to be cast in Vida, I mean, that's, especially, I'm gonna cry right now, but it's because it was so, as a Latinx, actor, it's sometimes really challenging to find a role when it says they want a Latina or Latino or a Latinx person. Sometimes they want you to play a cultural thing or something that's not just about the character relating to the other character. It's maybe something else that has to do with the ethnicity, but not necessarily something deeper. And so for this, to find that Tanya Saracho created a role that was a butch lesbian identified character that was part of the main story was, to me, there are no words.
Hello. Hi, Mom. This is Eddie. She's the one that she helped Mommy run the bar and was like her roommate.
I'm sorry. Vidalia had a roommate.
So this is a new show. What's the show about?
All right. Well, Vida is centers on the story of two sisters, or two Mexican American sisters that come back home to the east side of LA. They were estranged from each other. One was living in Chicago, one's living in San Francisco, and they come back home because their mother dies. And as they come home, they have to deal with their past, which they left for a reason behind, but also that they discover a lot about their mother that they didn't realize as they knew her. They really didn't know her. And so that's where I come in, but that's it.
And that's a twist.
Hey, it's so good to finally meet you. I mean, not under these circumstances, pero I'd gotten a chance to meet Lynn here. She visited.
Is that right?
Yeah. Pero tú me faltabas. Your ama wouldn't shut up about you.
I doubt that.
So where can we see Vida?
You can see Vida on the Stars Network, which premieres on May 6th, and that's a Sunday.
So it seems like there are a lot more roles now in television.
Yes, definitely there's more opportunities that I see for myself being non-binary, for LGBTQIA roles in television and film. That's so exciting because a lot of times as I was training and doing my theater and auditioning for television, I was saying, when is my chance, when's my opportunity gonna come where I can really be playing these characters? But it's also on a grander level. These are LGBTQI characters that stories need to be told, and identity is so complex and nuanced, so it's important to keep telling these stories. And right now it's like I feel there's so much more coming out. There's other platforms as well, which also helps in telling the stories. And also the inclusivity of it at the top, where we have people like Tanya Saracho and Jill Soloway speaking up to the high executives. They're using their power, their positions to actually say, we need more women. We need, behind the camera, in front of the camera, we need more inclusivity of brown people without them being depicted as criminals, and and to have more nuance and three-dimensional characters, so that the audience could connect to us, and also be able to then see our humanity, and we could see each other, and all of this violence could stop.
Yeah. And I really like how you've been able to find your freedom through this and be able to be accepted in this new way.
Thank you so much. Yes, a lot of times it's like, dang, what am I gonna do with my life? How is it gonna be? Is it gonna make an impact on anybody? And then I feel like I had faith, and I just kept going. I just kept going, and I just had to believe in my intuition that yes, I have a story that's important, and also that does really connect to the audience, and that it needs to be told, and people are yearning for it as well, to see themselves reflected on the stages and on the screen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If you want to be on the show, contact us and tell us your story.